Hello, Tashidelek. Welcome to Wednesdays with Rinpoche. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is well, staying strong, healthy, happy, and everybody's keep going. So here today, our Wednesday talk from India, and today is Hakar, as we all know. So I want to say Hakar Sang to everybody, and so today our topic I posted on our Facebook. Actually, the topic is just keep going. In Tibetan we say "Mutu," keep going, never give up. And so I found this one of my photo when I was climbing up. So that was one message that I got. So so I said I didn't come this far only to come this far. And so I think life is always moving, going, and no matter what. If we look at our life, it is momentary, and since the beginning less time until the end less time, we have been moving, changing, always going. So sometimes it is in the nature of our own existence, as long as we exist, we have been moving, we have been going, and we are going still, and we will keep going. So, and that is actually one of the main message from the Bodhisattva practice, that we need to understand the nature of our existence, nature of our life, that we are not here to stop. We are here. Whether we are happy, we should keep going. Whether we are unhappy, we should keep going. Even if we are in neutral, then we should keep going. And so this keep going. Sometimes we think that I will keep going until I achieve enlightenment. But Bodhisattva attitude is even after you become enlightened being, still you don't stop. And actually, even after enlightenment, we should keep going, right? And it is not that we should, we will. And because sometimes we think that it is going is very tiring. But actually, it is kind of like a not if we look at it with a different perspective, if we look at it from a different point of view, then the happiness is not in the destination, actually happiness in the journey, actually. Kind of like learning how to enjoy on this journey. So life is all about journey, right? Even if we look at from a Buddhist point of view, if we believe there is a past life, if we believe there is a future life, then somehow we came here into this life from past life to here by going. So we actually went from past life to this life. And then when we go into next life, still we are going. And so kind of like if we actually learn that we are not here just to stop, because that is sometime we have a kind of like a misconception about happiness. We have a misconception about enlightenment. We think that when we become enlightened, then we don't go, we don't move. But actually it is opposite, right? Enlightenment, first of all, why we want to become enlightened? Because we wanted to help other people. So if we don't move, if we don't keep going, then how can we help other sentient beings, right? So it is kind of like a need to understand. Even like I think that when we are seeking happiness, if we think that happiness is the destination where we actually stop and not doing anything, then there is nothing amazing about enlightenment, right? Then like after you achieve enlightenment, after you become totally happy, reach ultimate happiness, and you are not doing anything, you're not going anywhere, then I don't know. That is not something, what do you call, impressive in a way, right? It is kind of like one big mistake that if we think that happiness is the destination, or enlightenment is the destination, and if we think that enlightenment is the end of our journey, then somehow it will create fear. Because if enlightenment is the end, if the happiness is the end, then subconsciously we will not seek happiness. Subconsciously, if we think that enlightenment is the end, then like subconsciously and unconsciously, kind of like we will get scared. So that is why sometimes if we look deeply, many people have this kind of anxiety or kind of like a fear that they don't want to become totally happy. They don't want to achieve enlightenment. Why? Because their definition of enlightenment is the destination, the end. Because sometimes we combine this word destination and the end, right? So, like with the right set of mind, who will want to end? Because that is why, many times, we are scared of the death. Why? Because we think death is the end, right? And when it is the end, then what happened? What happened when we reach the final destination to end ourselves, to make ourselves non-existence, to not to exist? Then who wants to be enlightened, right? Who wants to be totally happy? Like if when you are totally happy, you become non-exist. Because fear of non-existence is the biggest fear that we have. We are always worried. We are always there is a deep anxiety that I will become nothing, right? If you become nothing, when you achieve enlightenment, when you become when you achieve the ultimate happiness, then who want that kind of happiness, right? So that is why, the bodhisattva, how their attitude is. Their attitude is, I have been going, and I am going, and I will keep going. So just keep going and going and going. So that is the existence. Like if you look around the whole universe around us, right? Everything is moving. Everything is going, right? Everything is going because we exist in time. We exist in space. So somehow we are moving. And in time, we are moving one moment to next moment, right? And in space, we are moving from one location to another location, right? It's just kind of like if we look at just kind of even our planet is keep moving, right? It is keep moving. It is when our planet stop moving, then I don't know. That is the end, I think, right? So as long as we are alive, we should keep moving. So that is why this is a very simple message. So that kind of like if we actually understand that I am here in this life to keep going. So happiness is in keep going. So if we can find the happiness in this keep going nature, then we actually know how to live our life, how to enjoy our life, how to enjoy the moments, right? So just kind of generally, everything, every single existence is moving. So in that way, everything is struggling. So I always like to say this one main message when Buddha Shakyamuni, our historical Buddha, after his enlightenment, what did he taught? And this one a foundation of all the teaching of the Buddha is called the Four Noble Truths, right? So if we go into that Four Noble Truths, in Tibetan we say Demba Shi. So out of Four Noble Truths, the first Noble Truth. So what is the first truth that Buddha actually said? Because I think that is it should be the most important message, right? Because right after Buddha achieved enlightenment, actually he didn't actually teach, right? He didn't teach for 7 weeks. So he went, from in Bodh Gaya, he achieved enlightenment, and then from Bodh Gaya he went to Sarnath, Varanasi, and there he met his colleagues who were searching for enlightenment. So 5 of his friends, and then he sat under the tree, and they were all kind of amazed to see how much change Gautama, the Shakyamuni, actually has changed. So they were eager to listen what he had to say. And the first word actually came out of the Buddha mind, like Buddha's mouth, actually was Dinni Dungye Pakwe Debao. So if you really pay close attention to this word, it is just one sentence, Dinni. So this word, it is very easy to memorize, right? In Tibetan, it is easy. Dinni Dungye Pakwe Debao. So in English, Dinni means this is. Dinni means this is. The truth of what? So Dungel, many times this word Dungel is translated into English as a suffering. So it is widely, people kind of interpret that this is the truth of suffering. So somehow the word suffering has a kind of I don't know if it is exactly translating the word Dungel. Dungel. It is kind of if we actually look at the Tibetan 2-syllable, it's like a duk. There is a 2-syllable. One is duk, another is ngel. So, I always kind of find English word struggle. Struggle. Struggle is, I think, meaning coming close to the word dungel here, ngelwa, kind of struggling. So this is the truth of struggle. So somehow, if we actually pay close attention to the word, contemplate on that, because Buddha didn't actually use a lot of fancy words for that. He just simply said Dinni. So when he said Dinni, what is he referring? So this word, this is, this, it has many different layers of meaning, however you want to take, right? So Buddha was just sitting and he said, this is the truth of struggle or nature of suffering. So that is so first word, just kind of even if you pay the close attention, what is he saying? This, he didn't say that. He didn't say it, so he didn't put one object, right? He just said this is. So somehow, he is actually pointing this whatever, this life, this existence, this body, this mind, this moment, this present moment, this. So it's the truth. So what is the truth of this is that everything is struggling. So struggling means it is going from one moment to another moment. It is actually kind of every single existence is struggling to exist for next moment, right? Everything. It's not only sentient beings, right? Even if we look into our body, there's many trillions of cells that exist in our body. Each of these single cell is actually struggling to survive, to exist one more moment, right? If we look around, Like there are so many plants and trees. Look at them. They are also struggling to exist. One more moment. So every single existence, like a water, rock, soil, and everything, every single thing, even the smallest particles in this whole universe, every single thing is actually moving and struggling. So, like, if we actually look at, that is the truth. So, once we know that is the truth, means somehow we have to live with that truth. The truth is that we are all struggling. So it is kind of like even sometime, I think that after enlightenment, like struggle is there. Struggle, because as long as there is a movement, there is a struggle, right? So what is the difference then? So what was Buddha actually saying? Saying there is a difference. Like Buddha was actually saying, I am enlightened and you are not enlightened. So what is the difference? So somehow what he was saying actually is that I understand that everything is struggling, and I accept the fact that it's struggling, and I learn how to live in struggle without struggling, right? Like living in struggle without struggle. So that is like if we actually understand that meaning of what Buddha was saying, then I think the rest of the Buddha's teaching is actually extension of that truth, the first noble truth that Buddha actually said. So kind of like there are many different teaching that Buddha has given. So all this teaching is in kind of like a extension. He summarized first one. So this is the truth of struggle. So when we become enlightened, then it is not about stopping to struggle. Even after enlightened, you will struggle. So what is the difference? Is you will stop struggling over the struggle. See, that is the fact. So when we actually learn that is we need to learn. So in life, if we keep going, so that is keep moving, keep going with the nature, because we are as long as we exist, we are what? Impermanence, right? We are momentarily. We always exist in momentary, so we always exist in time. So we cannot go outside of time. We cannot go outside of the space, right? So somehow we need to live. If we exist in time and space. So in time and space, everything is moving, everything is going. So like once we actually kind of like once we actually how to kind of like put the puzzle like then it is like we will understand that we are actually not here to stop. We are not here to actually we are not here to stay, right? No matter how hard we try, we cannot stay. We always have to keep going. We always have to keep moving. So keep moving. So learning how to keep going is one of the kind of like main thing to learn in life as well as in our in our journey, right? So once we know, once we actually learn, once we actually understand how to enjoy the going, how to enjoy the journey, then slowly, slowly, we will struggle less and less with the struggles, right? So, like struggling is there. We will keep struggle, but we will not struggle over the struggle. So, if you struggle over the struggles, then what happens is it is unnecessary. It will create problem. It will create chaos, right? It will create a lot of misery because many of the things in our life, like unnecessary suffering, unnecessary pain, unnecessary problems, are actually created because we struggle over the struggle. Because kind of like somewhere we actually exaggerate. We think that okay, this is struggle, so I want to stop struggling. I want to stop struggling. That is kind of like a little bit what do you call, impossible. It's impossible because as long as we exist, we will struggle. So the struggle is in our nature. So it is like as long as we exist, so we will struggle. So like what we need to actually learn is, okay, I will keep moving, I will keep going, because that is in my nature, and I will not actually unnecessary struggle or like over my struggles in life, right? So that is one thing that one of the main message of the Buddha, that Bodhisattva, like they took that message, and somehow when you actually understand that it is like my nature, my existence is just to keep going and going, and then like we will not get tired when we are moving. We will not get tired when we are going. So kind of like, because we learn how to enjoy the journey, how to enjoy the going. Because even if you are staying, even if you are laying down, even if you are sitting on the chair, even if you are sleeping, but somehow we are always going. We are keep going. We are going from one moment to next moment, right? Like time never stops. It is keep moving, and so we are actually moving. It's like a journey, right? Journey from like one moment to next moment. Like as I said, like we look around, like everything is moving. Our planet Earth is moving around the sun, and everything, like the moon is also moving around the Earth, and even the sun is moving. And if we look at the big cosmology, then everything is moving, right? And we are part of it. We are not like somebody who is not moving, and then we are just watching that everything is moving, right? That is like everything is moving. At the same time, we are also moving with it, right? We are also moving with it. So that is one big lesson that we need to learn from the first truth of the Buddha, out of the Four Noble Truths. So, so I kind of like kept that when I was running on that rock over the hill, and I kind of like thought about that message. And so today, on this Wednesday, I wanted to share with all of you. So that is our Wednesday topic, and so looks like many of our friends are here, and so Very wonderful to see many of you here. And so on my screen, so please excuse me if I don't mention your name, then that means it is not showing in my iPad live. So what right now it's showing here is Andrew Wall, Tashidelek, Luan Berenger, Tashidelek, Sherry Langston, Tashidelek, Mary K. Moses, Tashidelek, and Ming, Tashidelek Ming, Xiaoming Lo, and Janet Campbell, Tashidelek. So you were saying, I will keep going, happiness to you and all being. Yes, thank you. And Jitka Marigold, Tashidelek, Carol Inglestead, Tashidelek, and I see my brother Tenzin Tuyu, Tashidelek, then John Gossett, Tashidelek, and Kathy, Tashidelek, and Ninju Kumaran, Ninju Tashidelek, Pranam. And you were saying something, prostration of reverential gratitude for darshan and teaching on Holy Wednesday. In India, Wednesday is called Budwar, the day associated with Bodhi, Buddhi, intellect. The prayer is for guidance and blessing, so may obtain a beneficial light-filled intellect. Lord, thank you for unfailing, compassionate, selfless and tireless leading us towards that every single Wednesday since April 22. Yes, Ninju, thank you. And then Zitile, I think it's my cousin, Tashidelek, and David Kumido, Tashidelek, Buche, Tashidelek, David, and Kayla. We are filled with gratitude for all of those Wednesday teaching. Thank you. And Sue Hasberger, Tashidelek, and I think Ninju saying something more here. Prostration for your precious teaching and blessing so that each step of the journey, not just the destination, can be fulfilled. Ananda. Yes, that is true. And Paris Moshe Parva, Tashidelek, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. You are very welcome. Sylvia, good morning, Rinpoche. Tashidelek, yes, in America it's morning, right? So we are getting vaccinated. Are they vaccinating where you are? Yes, India has their own vaccination, and presently they are giving it to all the older citizens, I think, and the healthcare and the front runner. So I am considered foreigner here, so I don't know when I will get. Janet Campbell, dear Rinpoche, can we take our desire for enlightenment for our next life? Yes, I think desire for enlightenment is always there, because it is to become enlightenment is desire to be happy is a desire to become enlightened. I think that is the same. It is just the word is that you are not saying, but what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is the ultimate happiness, right? So when we are desiring to be happy, that means we are desiring for enlightenment, I think. And then Miyuki Onozawa Watanabe, Tashidelek, Miho-san, Tashidelek, I shall keep on going. Yes, that is good, Miho-san. And then Helen Person, dear Rinpoche, is to stop struggling with the struggle the same as to stop resist the struggle going on each moment anyway. To be more relaxed and less tense or whatever is going on, moving. Yes, I think there is some meaning to that too. Sort of like, if we resist or if we resist a struggle, then kind of we are struggling. If we are actually fighting the struggles, then we are. So if we are not accepting the struggle, then we are kind of like not struggling. Has there are step by step that first kind of like being open, being open to it, and then not kind of fighting with it, or not resisting it, or not suppressing it, but just kind of like seeing that struggle is part of our existence. Yeah. And then Lushan Su Tashidelek. Lushan, thank you for this profound teaching. You're welcome. And Dennis Shaver Tashidelek, thank you. You're welcome. And Regula Tashidelek Rinpoche, Tashidelek Regula, from Ernie. In the world, there have been now 2,500,000 deaths. And in the US now more than 500,000 deaths and 2,000 deaths every day. And in Yemen, there are 50,000 people starving to death and 16 million going hungry, and children can't walk because they are starving. So how do you totally open to all of this? Yes, I think it is kind of like, if we look at the whole existence is kind of struggling in different way, but it is just kind of like this is sad. If we look at from our kind of relative level, like from a human relative, then kind of like when we see this kind of what do you call, starving and struggles, is like sad. It is kind of like we feel compassion for them, and then we pray. So this is just kind of something that we are kind of knowing it is on the surface, but beneath the surface of if we look at the suffering of the samsara, then this kind of like a few million just kind of thing is kind of like normal, right? It's normal, just normally, like even without starving, or even without what you call pandemic. I think every day millions of people are just dying, right? Like how many people die in a road accident, how many people just kind of die suddenly. So there's kind of like, if we look at the nature of that, it is kind of like in samsara, there is like, that is why everything is moving, everything is changing. So we should somehow, we should look at that, and that is we should learn how to kind of like pray, wish them best, and send our prayer for these people who are struggling. So it's not only that they are struggling, we are also struggling, right? We are also momentarily, like there are like a lot of physical kind of pain, but then at the same time, how many emotional pains there are, how many mental pains there are, right, in the world. So somehow kind of like we should look at it and then feel compassion, but don't take it personally. So when we actually hear this kind of thing, how can we open about that? It's just kind of like looking at that as a nature of samsara, and kind of keep sending our best wishes, prayer, send our like a light and good wishes to them. I think that is how to open. All right. And then GT Duan Tien, Tashi Delek Tien, and then New Dalai Araiba, Tashi Delek New Dalai, and then Regula Stewart, Tashi Delek Regula. So you have some question. In the Guru Yoga prayers, it says, Guru of great bliss, dispeller of obstacle. What is connection between bliss and removing obstacles? So I think this kind of like they're like great bliss is kind of like sometime when we actually look at the Guru, it is not always outer guru, like there is the inner guru. So somehow our inner guru is our innermost Buddha nature is our inner guru, right? And then that is when we actually connect with our innermost Buddha nature, then we actually have this wisdom of emptiness. So the wisdom of emptiness, when we actually totally understand the truth of emptiness, then the observer mind become full of bliss. So when you have that wisdom, then wisdom is the wisdom is the light. Wisdom is the light, and then when there is a light, the obstacles are the ignorance, right? Obstacle is the darkness. So when the light come, all the obstacle, all the ignorance, all the affliction will, all the darkness will clear away. So I think that is what it is meaning. All right. And thank you very much for this wonderful teaching. You are welcome. And then Alex Norden, Tashideleg Alex. So Rinpoche, your question: if consciousness is that which is luminous, clear, and aware, beyond the physical, what is the support or basis of consciousness? Can consciousness exist without a basis? Then consciousness, kind of like if we look at the different, different dimension, different layers, like we have a, if we look at from a 5 aggregates point of view, right? Then like on the surface we have this layer called the physical form. Like we have the physical body, right? The color, shape, and something tangibles. And then the next layer of our existence is kind of like not non-physical. It is like a sensation. It is feelings, right? The Tsorwa in Tibetan we say Tsorwa Pongbo, which means all the emotions and all those things. And then another layer is called the idea, right? The conception, thoughts, right? So there's another aspect of us that is not physical. So, and then there's a kind of like a, energy, or the function, or the like a force, like all the karma, and then consciousness. So if we look at kind of the consciousness is like sometimes we say the word base, but it can be like a like sometimes we think that the physical body is kind of the outer layer, and then emotion is inside, mind is inside, consciousness is inside. Like it looks like it is becoming smaller and smaller, but actually it also goes both ways. So physical is actually, if we look at from the size point of view, then it is not inside. So sometimes we think that the consciousness is inside our body, right? But maybe body is inside our consciousness, right? Body is so somehow the biggest dimension, the largest layer of our existence is the consciousness. So the consciousness somehow kind of doesn't need anything base, because it is the consciousness. It is the sort of like it is the existence. So it is kind of like it just consciousness goes kind of like limitless. So because it is limitless, and that is why kind of like when consciousness expand, so then it expand into emptiness. So emptiness is limitless, right? So consciousness can be kind of totally limitless, and it will kind of like totally. It doesn't need any base. But if just kind of from a label point of view, if you want to know what is the basis of the consciousness, then I will say emptiness is the basis of consciousness. All right. And then I see Ken, Watson, Tashidele Ken, and then Mary Milam. In history, there have always been false leader and cult followers. Is there a prayer to help them desire to see the truth? I see so many getting so twisted and angry following these lies. I want to pray for their openness. Yes, I think we can pray, but samsara is samsara. Because of the lack of self-esteem and self-confidence, then people always think that somebody is there, and then there are people who will say, I am the God, I am the Savior, I am the kind of I will do, and then people will believe sometime. So I think it has been always like that, and kind of like it will kind of remain like this, not only in this world but all through the universe. It will keep happening for a long time. But yes, we should pray. We should pray that may all see their own truth. And yes, so I think we should pray and send best wishes for the people who get tricked by the cult leader and stuff like that. So we will send our prayer and wishes that may they see their own light and achieve happiness, right? Okay, so I think so that is so far. I see in my screen people's comment and questions, and so our tonight topic is keep going. So let us keep going, keep moving. All right, so thank you all very much, and please stay strong, stay safe, and keep moving without giving up. And Tashidelek to all of you. All right.